Welcome back to the Nutmeg. It is still frigid here in New England. We're picking up where we left off last week, and we are shoving down track 3, getting ready to deliver some woodhopper cars to the municipal lot, and then we've got to shove or deliver a clay slurry car over to the magazine facility or printers, and then these two box cars are going to go down to Riverhead transload. So this one's going to be fairly quick, only 17 minutes, and then we'll look at delivering the recycling containers in the next video. As you can see here in the foreground, at the end of the telephone poles that I've got there, you can see some cradles, right below where I'm poking right now, some cradles for the wood poles. Essentially what I do is I put those onto the flat cars, and it holds my my telephone pole deliveries, and actually it's worked out really well. I designed those, modeled those up in SketchUp, and then 3D printed them, painted them up, and they work really well. Let me know if you'd like to get your hands on the model for those. I did design them myself, but if you've got a resin printer and you'd like to print a couple of those cradles out, have the need for hauling around some telephone poles on your layout, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll try and get those posted in some manner. Alright, let's slide around the end of Riverhead. Riverhead is here in the foreground. You can see we've got an empty bulkhead flat car, empty center beam car. We've got a bunch of pickups at Riverhead that we've got to do before we can deliver those box cars. But let's get this clay slurry car off the tail end of this train first, and then we'll deal with Riverhead when it comes. Of course, we're still in the yard, even though we're on the lead right now. So the speed limit is still fairly low, so we can't really get cooking on down to the spur for the delivery of the slurry car. But we'll get there. Slow and steady. We'll hold up here for just a hot second, flip the switch, and then we can head on down onto the spur and deliver this clay slurry car. This area of the layout really needs a little bit more attention on the layering of the buildings and the scenery and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, I haven't gotten to any scenery really, except for structures and some vehicles and everything, just to kind of give an idea of what's going on. And I've mentioned this in the past. I didn't want to do any scenery until the track work had proven itself to be exactly what it was I wanted, simply because I didn't want to step back in order to move forward. I just find that annoying. So I'd rather deal with the pink desert. But in this particular case, this scene kind of annoys me a little bit for for the simple fact that I find composition a little difficult for these sort of scenes, and also for the delivery of the recycling cars, which is on the track on the back side of the layout in this frame. So I don't know, a little bit of attention needed over here, I know, but obviously we'll get to it. This scene is fairly decent. We're gonna post up here for a second, flip the switch so that we can get down into Riverhead. But this scene I do like. I've got a little bit of a parking area in between these two buildings, and that allows me access to these turnouts. But I don't know, it's just that one area over to the left that's kind of annoying. I'll get it sorted out eventually. But for now, I've got a spot to put a car, so. This particular scene is honestly fairly decent. It's kind of one of my favorites right now. In the background, you can see a tower that I think that's an old school lifelike model, I believe. And I just ordered a Walthers, just simply because I don't know. I don't really like the look of the lifelike model. So I'm gonna get a different tower back there, and it's I think a Pennsylvania Railroad tower, something smaller, brick, something that I can weather up and make look as though it's been fairly abandoned, simply because obviously we're in a modern era now. But a little bit abandoned, but at the same time still in somewhat some kind of use. So in any case, here we go. We're reaching down behind the warehouse here, which of course is the backdrop of my TV, and grabbed a boxcar here. So let's head out of this spur, set these out on the track lead, and then deliver the two boxcars to the warehouse. I am going to be putting in a road along the front of the layout here, right down the edge of the fascia, just to kind of tie this storefront in with something, and then have this track, the spur on the left where the Pan Am car is sitting, and just have that right off the road. And then the road is going to cross where you can see the truck in the background and the crossing lights. I'm going to cross the track there so that we can get into, have a visual way of getting into Riverhead. Okay, about halfway through our video, a little over half. And all we've got to do is get these empties out onto the yard lead, and then get down into Riverhead. Not sure exactly what takes an additional 8 minutes, but we're about to find out. something subtle that I wanted to kind of point out here, and I don't know why I wanted to point it out, but you can see my right arm just flipped the switch from the right hand of the screen, and I'm focusing on doing stuff like that. In the past, if it's been something that maybe I could reach better with my left for the video, it's a little bit, it's a subtle thing, but it doesn't feel so good if like a left hand comes in from the right hand side of the screen. And so I've been trying to focus on making sure that I was consistent with which side of the screen I was reaching in on, and using the appropriate hand in order to make my switches or do my switching and release cars. This particular scene I actually like a bit too, because it's got the, we can slide past the warehouse, and then in the background it has displays the shoving platforms and everything like that. So, and I do like having those on display so that you can see them, and they're all just the way that I like them. They're all super unique, nothing uniform, and a little bit of chaos within the organized realm. So the chaos isn't for everyone, but I don't know, for some reason I really appreciate when things are not all matchy, but it has a little bit more of a feel of like, I think, what is it? What's the railroad down in Georgia? The Heartland or something? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen. Hartwell. It's the Hartwell Railroad. No need to put it on the screen. I just said it. So down there they've got all different kinds of locomotives, all in their original paint schemes, just super old and rusty and weathered. But each of the locomotives, each of the things has a sense of character, and ultimately that's what I kind of try and do here, where each locomotive, each shoving platform, every component of like main character has its own kind of identity, and for some reason that's something that I really like. It's not for everybody, like I said, but it is the way that I like to railroad. So in any case, here we go. We are all done down at Riverhead. We've got the municipal lot delivered and the clay slurry car delivered. Let's hook up here to my empties from Riverhead, my pickups there. Shove those back down onto the sorting tracks. I think we're going to park these onto track 3, and then we'll see you again on the next video where we deliver the recycling cars. Then we can cut loose and start heading down to the other end of the sorting yard, so that we can get on the other end of the recycling cars, and then be in position for next video. And here we are at the final scene. You can see a little foreshadowing for next video. The recycling cars in the background. Shoved down here on track 3, cut loose, and then head down to the other end of the yard on track 2, between these two cuts of cars. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and all of that sort of stuff. No pressure. If you're just here to watch videos and not do any of the buttons and all that sort of stuff, I totally get it. But here we go. Head down track 2, and we will see you next time when we deliver the recycling cars to where they're going, and then that will wrap up our series here on reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.